All right, we're here with Coach Robyn Felder, week number 2 of the recap for women's volleyball. Robyn, after 8 days on the islands, didn't necessarily turn out the way you wanted, going 1-3 on the road trip, but it did end very strong with a huge victory over Hawaii Pacific, who was probably one of the better teams, maybe the second best team that you played over there. Talk about your trip as a whole and how you thought your young team played, and maybe who was your best player of the week.
Okay. Our first match we played Hilo. We got in a day early, so we had some time to kind of get adjusted to the time change, and we just kind of came out a little bit sluggish against Hilo. They were a good team. They had one player that really picked us apart. I think she had almost 30 kills. So we just couldn't stop her, and then we couldn't get our offense going to really do any damage against them. The second night we played Chaminade, which was a very winnable match for us. They've gotten a lot better. We won the first 2 games, and then we just kind of got rattled a little bit. They had a crowd show up, and they just got our girls a little off balance and just out of system. And our youth really showed in that game, so that was disappointing. The girls were disappointed, but we rebounded. We came into BYU Hawaii, who is a great team, very seasoned, and we competed against them. We're just not quite there with their experience level or our ability to really execute the ball. The last night we played Hawaii Pacific, who I don't think thought we were really going to be any big deal, and we just came out loud and just aggressive. During our warm-up time, they actually played some really slow music for us, like lullabies almost, and it fired us up. I was angry. So we were just fired up. We came out and took 2 games right off them, and I think just shell-shocked them. We ended up losing the next 2. They kind of rebounded, made some adjustments, and then that 5th game we just got in control early and just kind of rolled through it. So I think we stunned them. It was a great win for us because I think we figured out some things. I think we switched a couple players positionally and just kind of got ourselves in rhythm going into this next week.
Very nice. Playing a nationally ranked team in BYU Hawaii, who I think at the time was 14th. They'd move up to number 12. Probably the most disappointing loss was against Chaminade. That was a game that you probably thought you should have won. It being your first trip to the islands as a coach, was it difficult to keep your kids focused on volleyball? Because that's the whole purpose that you go there. Obviously, we face those things of going to the islands and spending 7, 8, 9 days. All of our teams do, playing those 4 teams over there. Was it difficult to keep them focused on the task at hand? No,
I don't think so. I mean, we let them have a little bit of downtime. We let them play a little bit, but for the most part, we had them up, study hall, lunch, focus, film. So we had a good game plan on keeping them focused. On their off days, we let them play around. We did a photo scavenger hunt that was pretty fun. We had a good time. So I think overall on our downtime, we were team building. We were doing a lot of stuff to kind of help us off the court, so that when we got back on the court, the feeling was a lot better.
Nice. Tell me about who you thought excelled over there. I know Britta Noble played some outside. She got some swings in. I noticed that you had Alex Anderson, playing some libero. It looked like that Mercedes O'Neill did all right up front. Who else stood out?
For me, Alex was probably the best player of the weekend, only because it allowed me to have Britta swing. Alex has been a little bit hot and cold, and she kind of stepped in this weekend and kind of owned that spot. So her doing that has allowed me to just have Britta focus on outside hitting. Sheila, my other outside hitter, is a little bit injured right now, so I just don't have any other options there. And Alex dug. Hawaii Pacific, I think she had 33 digs, which is fantastic. So she kind of owned that spot. So for me, more than anybody, she was a stud. Britta did some good things. Sadie did some good things. I think we're just kind of getting into our stride now a little bit on what we can do offensively.
Just statistically speaking, it appeared as a team you blocked the ball very well the whole trip. I mean, Hawaii Pacific, you had 11 blocks. Even against BYU Hawaii in a 3-set match, you had 8.
Yeah.
Against Chaminade, you finished with 13. Yeah. Against Hawaii Hilo, you had 11. What do you think is the big reason you're blocking up front so well?
Well, we've been working on it because our first match against Fresno, we got tooled all the time. I mean, every other point was a tool. So every practice we've gone back to fundamentals of blocking, getting our feet there, getting our hands inside our body. So I would definitely say that's because we have been focused on it and really just getting back to the fundamentals. And that's what we did since we've been back. We said, okay, we're not executing the way we want to. How can we get these skills focused? And so we've just broken it down, gone back to fundamentals. And then if we win or lose, we can say, hey, how did we do on our fundamentals? No, we're not there yet. Then that's why we lost. Nice. So that's been our focus this week.
Well, it seems to be working in the focus, and hopefully it continues into this weekend where we have 2 home matches. Friday night against Cal Baptist at 6 o'clock. Probably a very well-seasoned team. They seem to be playing very well right now. And then on Saturday at 4 o'clock, we take on Point Loma Nazarene. What do you know about these 2 squads that are coming in, and kind of your game plan towards it?
We've got a game plan. I know that. Cal Baptist, like you said, lots of seniors. Ingrid Carmona is a stud. So if we can minimize the damage that she does and run our offense, I think we'll match up pretty well against them. As far as Point Loma, I think they're kind of like us. They're just right in the middle. They're a tough team. But we have a game plan. So our first focus is Cal Baptist, and executing what we need to do there, and then we'll move on to Point Loma. But we've watched lots of film. We've tailored our game to fit their defense. So we're gonna strategize a little bit.
Great. Well, best of luck to you. Again, Friday night, 6 o'clock against Cal Baptist in the Student Activity Center, and then again Saturday, Point Loma Nazarene in the old gym starting at 4 o'clock.